It's on.
Yeah, are you happy with the social club's efforts?
Yes!
Well, buy more fucking raffle tickets then! I'm supplying the next one. It's going to be Mother's Day, and it's going to be my doTERRA essential oils from my business. So when I get the sack after tonight, at least I've got something to go to. And people aren't laughing out there, but it could possibly be true. Okay, so we're wrapping it up now. We've had a fantastic night. I was just, we've got to be out of here by 10. Beck's coming soon to lock up and everything like that. So if whoever can help out, even if you have to take your high heels off, it'd be great if we can get all of the chairs and tables just down into the foyer. They said they can put them away, that's fine. So if anyone can stay back and help out, that'd be great. We've had the night go on a bit longer than planned, which I've absolutely loved. Would you shut up in the front row there? It's such a tart. Like, I even got like a kiss here and a kiss here from Abby. Alex, did you get a kiss there?
Yes. Not yet, but I'll take any.
Yeah, cool. So we started with the dark horse, didn't we? Liam Daly. And what a way to wrap it up. He's just so, like, even if you don't laugh, he's such a dream. Oh, anyway, that's me. I'm just in love with the light guy. Michael, let's hear it from Michael. He's been working all day long at the Commonwealth Games and came and helped us out. Thank you very much. Sterling's gone. And now it's just time for us to finish this horse race. With the dark horse. I did have some fat jokes, but it's, I think we've exhausted that. Okay, with no further ado, we're wrapping it up with Liam Daly! Let's hear it for Liam, everyone! I'm back!
Did you miss me? You're a bunch of liars.
Yes, you did a good job of it.
Oh, good job. You know what? It's such a lovely crowd. I just feel like acknowledging you. It's a bit of audience participation, but I'm going to do it in the form of a Facebook conversation to illustrate just how impractical Facebook Messenger would be if in a real life conversation. So I'm going to have a conversation with Narita right now. Say, hey, how's it going, Narita?
I'm feeling really anxious about having a Facebook fucking conversation right now.
That's good. Just tell me what you're doing today.
So, I've done everything today. There's nothing that I haven't done.
Hey, how's it going? You there? Must be online.
Liam!
Sorry, BRB. Oh, hey, mate, how's it going?
Yeah, good, mate.
Yeah, not too bad. So what's happening? Oh, hang on, I've got to answer this. I'll be back in a sec. Yeah. Sorry, I was out. Yeah, that's all really interesting. Yeah, see, that's impractical. You apply that in real life, that's impractical. Right? It's impolite, but we all do it. And now, if I were to do a group conversation, just to illustrate how severely impractical that is. So I'd be like, hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? How is it going? And now all of you at the same time tell me, how's it going? I meant like, answer the question, how's it going?
Good.
Somehow we all managed to screw that joke up. I'm so disappointed in the audience. Oh goodness. Here's a question that I would like to ask you. What's the call-out time in your area? Does anyone know? Because in my area, I called the cops once, because I live in the good part of southern Brisbane called Logan. Yeah. And some situations, you require police assistance. Like if there's a domestic happening next door, you think police assistance is required. If you've got siblings chasing each other down the street, one of them's trying to stab the other, police assistance may be required. You know, people breaking into cars, people blowing up cars, don't worry, it's still Logan I'm talking about.
Logan, mate.
Logan, yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
Logan.
yeah, Logan, yeah! I'm talking about my actual accent there, sorry if I scared anyone. Yeah, but had to call the police once, once. And they said they'd be there in half an hour, no joke. They came a week later. Yep. So it's the same in your area, huh? Well, see, here's the thing. You know what else has a 30-minute call-out time? Exactly. See, they get it. And if they're not there in 30 minutes, you get your money back, right? No way if you call the police and they're not in 30 minutes, you're not getting your tax dollars back, I tell you that. Yeah, interesting. But here's a way to test the effectiveness of the police in your area. Call pizza and the police to the same location. See who gets there first. Because if the police get there first, then you can say, congratulations, it was a test, you passed. Your reward will be here shortly. And at least if, the pizza arrives before the police, you got something to eat while you're being shoved in the back of the paddy wagon for filing a false police report. And while you're in the back of that paddy wagon, you could say to them, hey, meatloaves. At least they bring the bacon. Oh. And we thought Alex was controversial. Well, let's get on another touchy subject, shall we? What's a parking situation like at Bunnings? It's always good. You can always get a park at Bunnings Warehouse, right? And yet everyone always wants the one that's closer. There's always people, where I was down Surfers the other week. No one there, but yet I still couldn't get a parking spot. I don't even know why they call it parking spots. They may as well call it a G spot. I mean, think about it. Parking spots and G spots. Hard enough to find. Never in the same place twice. And not to mention that women, they're patient while they're finding it. They take their time. And men, you just want to get in as quickly as ever possible. Men are all silent, like, Of course, there are some people who cheat the system, flout the rules, park in disabled spots without a permanent or disability. Now, this has caused a lot of vigilantism and a lot of uproar, but personally, I think we should give them a break, because anyone who parks in a disabled spot without a permanent or disability is clearly retarded. And that counts. Officer comes up to the window. Excuse me, sir, you where you're parked in a disabled spot? Oh, is this a disabled spot, bro? You know what? I'm going to let you off on the technicality. What about the people that are that overweight and they get a disability permit, so they get to park closer to the shopping centres? Is that really doing them any favours? Shouldn't their parks be designated over the far side of the shopping centre? Exactly. Burn those calories. Earn your way to the food court, because we all know that's where they're going anyway. I have a friend who has cerebral palsy, and that's not the punchline. And she's one of the nicest people that I've ever known. She is confined to a wheelchair, and yet she works in aged care. And that never gets an applause. It's like, so what? She works. We have to work too. Yeah, now everyone feels bad. And she's one of the nicest people I've ever known. And one of the most admirable qualities I feel is that she's never run into or over anyone with her mobility scooter. And yet you've got people out there that are living the thug life. They're the ones that are driving down the road, blocking up traffic, barreling through doors like a gangster, tearing up on the sidewalk, people jumping out of the way in fear. It's like they've gone out recruiting. And you've got to ask yourself, that person in the mobility scooter, is it because they have a disability? Or because they were hit by a person in a mobility scooter? It's the vampire effect. Get bit by a vampire, become a vampire. Get hit by a person in a mobility scooter, become a person in a mobility scooter. Here's a legitimate question. What's the procedure for when a person with a disability parks in a pram parking spot and doesn't have a key? Are there any politically correct prima donna pram parents that are willing to take on that argument? Just walk up to them going, "Excuse me, do you have a kid? Do you have a pram? Oh my God, you are so inconsiderate. You have no idea how hard it is to be a parent." "Oh yeah, compared to you, it's a walk in the park." Oh! Look at that! Speaking of politically correct and walking, in Victoria, maybe you've heard this, the government has gone out of their way to change the pedestrian crosswalk signal to a woman in a dress for gender equality. Yeah, exactly. And the first thing I ask is, did they just assume the gender of a crosswalk signal? It is, isn't it? And this is where I consider myself to be progressive, because I don't see a man or a woman. I just see a friggin' light! But as a man, it does raise a few concerns with regards to the female crosswalk signal. What if she's not turned on? What if she starts sending me mixed signals? What if she gives me the green signal, then halfway through changes her mind, gives me the red signal? Do I still come? Do I stop? What do I do?
Find a plug.
Well, let me ask you this. Does it make me a sexist if I jaywalk? But you know what? It does have one benefit, the female crosswalk signal. It can help to curb jaywalking. Because, I mean, let's face the facts here. Nobody wants to cross a woman when she's on the red. Hey, that's a scientific fact and I stand by it. And anyone who agrees with me, raise your fists in the air. Do not be afraid. And keep your hands in the air if you are single like me and just... He is now. But hey, you know what? Just like me, you're probably wondering, what am I? You know, and I will answer that for you. Everyone's been wondering, the dark horse. I'm straight, but I like gays. And you know what? Gays like me too. In fact, they like me so much, I've even been asked out by gays before. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a chick magnet and a dick magnet. And you know what? I can take it as a compliment. But it is nice to know that the gays are holding an open position for me to take up anytime I like. Hey, but you know what? I also like lesbians. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm perfectly fine with two girls as long as there is no cup involved. Oh, you get that joke. It's like, you actually watched that? Bunnings Warehouse, where two girls and one cup is just the beginning. That's so funny, I almost forgot the rest of my routine. Two girls, one cup. My goodness, what do you do in your spare time? Yeah, you got works. I do believe in marriage equality, though. Hands together if you agree. Yeah, really put your hands together, that's right. We just saved about $20,000 on a poster vote right there. So how many yeses was that?
How many in the room, Mary?
How many is in the room? Yeah, 30 multiplied by whatever. But it is amazing the lengths that some people will go to oppose marriage equality. You know, some resort to anger and violent protests. Others give it to them orally. You know, verbally harass them. And then there's a guy named Tony, who threw a... Not Tony Abbott, no. You're probably thinking, no.
Mr. Rabbit.
Yeah, not that guy. Different Tony. he threw a lemon meringue pie with cream at Alan Joyce, the CEO of Qantas and gay and lesbian rights advocate. Did anybody catch that?
Yeah.
Well, he certainly did. So, Tony, a self-professed straight man, couldn't get Alan, a gay man, out of his mind. All he could think about was just shoving it right in his face. So he put thought into action, went and bought him something with a soft texture and a hard exterior, worked his way around the back door, because clearly he knows his way around backdoor entrance, came on stage and creamed in another man's face to show that he's straight and that he's opposed to gays. Exactly. But of course, Australia had a postal vote, the majority voted yes, and with it came the anti-marriage equality campaign. And they've actually come out to say that they're not going to stop fighting against marriage equality. And that's just horrible, isn't it? I mean, not because of the discrimination or the harassment, but because of their lame ad campaign. I mean, I'm just dreading their next TV spot.
Just imagine, two guys hanging out with each other all the time. They'll do nothing but drink, party, and leave the toilet seat up. And two women, just imagine, twice the bitchiness, the jealousy, and the psycho synchronization. Is that what you want for your child's future? Say no to gay marriage.
Authorized by some little nut of Canberra. You know, people handing out propaganda flyers in the street saying they'll marry you and everyone you ever loved. You know, people at Bunnings will be forced to make out with each other, Mac to Macklemore. Religious conservatives screaming out of megaphones, you've got to protect the sanctity of holy matrimony. What, have they got a patent on it? Trademark? Copyright the term? Do we need to call it glory holy matrimony for gays and holy holy matrimony for lesbians now? But you know what? I believe that everyone should be married. Who here is in a relationship right now, but not married? Hey. And of course, what is your name, good sir?
Alex.
And we have never met before,
Oh,
right?
fuck off, you prick.
You are in no way, shape or form an audience plant, if you will.
Oh, yeah, absolutely not. Oh,
Of
fuck.
course.
What are you thinking about planting me?
Exactly. But you know what? I almost think like that we need to go off with a bang. I could do the next bit in the regular spiel, or I could do it in the way that straight and gays love a good musical number to finish off. Oh, mine's better. Now, Alex.
Yeah.
And sorry, what was your name again?
Victoria!
Victoria.
Oh.
How long have you been in a relationship for?
Too long.
Too long and you're not married? No, there would be a law which would go as follows. If you're in a relationship for 6 months and you're not married, the government will issue you with a summons to appear before a marriage celebrant. Or Reverend or Sea Captain, whatever your preference is. You'll have 28 days to comply. If you do not comply within 28 days, a warrant for your marriage will be issued. The cops will remand you into custody. Instead of putting the cuffs on you, they'll put the rings on you. Instead of reading you your Miranda rights, they'll read you your Miranda vows, which will go as follows. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in an argument. You have the right to a prenuptial agreement. If you do not have a prenup, your partner will stake claim to your financial assets and acquisitions in a subsequent divorce. Do you understand these rights as I have read them to you?
They don't matter to a criminal.
And of course, he's very hesitant because he realizes that if he gets married, doesn't sound like he got any rights at all, right?
You don't have any rights anyway.
Welcome to marriage. And now pronounce your husband and wife. Now kiss her all, get the tears. There's nothing quite like a happy ending. Certainly beats a mediocre finish. But I just want to thank our audience participation there, who I have nothing to do with, and certainly I'm not giving them a lift home later on. But I want to thank each and every one of you for coming here. I want to thank Narita for getting this whole thing together. What a way to end the night, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Liam, and I will see you guys next time.
Thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness, I could not be happier. Go get fucked!
I will!
Only that they know it.